Hello everybody, Vibes of a Wildlife here. Welcome to another video where we dive into the heart, humor, and unexpected life lessons from the animal kingdom. Alright, let's talk about crows. You know those black-feathered mystery birds everyone either ignores or calls pests? Well, here's a shocker. They're out here solving puzzles and remembering faces like they've got PhDs. So, while we're fumbling for car keys and forgetting what we had for lunch, crows are quietly proving they might be smarter than some folks I know. Most of us see a crow and think, there's another noisy troublemaker. But as it turns out, these birds are packing some serious brain power. Crows are actually some of the sharpest minds in the animal kingdom, pulling off tricks that make us humans look like we're still figuring out fire. Stick around and I'll show you exactly why crows deserve a spot on the genius list. From using tools to pulling off social loyalty that put most of us to shame, these birds have a lot going on. Who knew, right? And hey, if you're into learning cool things about animals and seeing them in a whole new light, hit that like button, share this video, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more mind-blowing animal stories. Now let's call. You might think that using tools is just for fancy scientists in lab coats, or, humans in general. But let me introduce you to the crows. These birds are out here crafting their own tools like it's second nature. They'll take a stick, trim it down, and use it to dig out bugs from the tiniest crevices. And they don't just grab any old stick, no, they're picky. They'll actually shape and customize it, almost like they're saying, nope, I need the good stuff to get the job done right. Now tell me, who in their right mind would expect a bird to be out here DIYing tools? But here we are, watching crows prove us wrong. Meanwhile, some people struggle with assembling an IKEA shelf, and this bird is out here designing custom tools. Let that sink in. And it's not just for show either. These crows are doing this on purpose. They know what they're after, and they know exactly how to get it. You can't tell me that isn't real intelligence. They're not just stumbling across food by luck. They're solving problems and thinking things through. It's like they're saying, yeah, I might be a bird, but I know how to get what I want. I mean, that's pure skill right there. And if a crow can figure out how to make and use tools to make its life a little easier, maybe there's something in that for us too. Sometimes you gotta work with what you got, make a little magic happen, and turn a stick into the very thing you need to thrive. Crows have got that covered. They're smart, determined, and not afraid to think outside the box. I'd say they're giving us all a run for our money. Alright, here's where things get really interesting. Crows don't just see us, they remember us. That's right, these birds can recognize individual human faces, and they hold on to those memories for years. So, if you've ever crossed paths with a crow, I hate to break it to you, but you've left an impression. And if you've ticked one off, well, let's just say they're not the forgiving type. Now think about that for a second. We're out here forgetting our neighbor's name, and yet crows can tell you apart from the next person who walks by. And it's not just like they think, oh, here's that tall human again. No, they recognize individual faces. If you're kind to them, they'll remember that. And if you pull a fast one, like trying to shoo them away, they'll remember that too. They might even hold a little grudge. Here's the kicker though. Crows don't just remember faces, they act on it. If you fed them or shown them kindness, they might come back looking for more or even bring you a little thank you gift. Yup, that's right. Crows are known to leave people shiny objects as tokens of appreciation. It's like they're thinking, you were cool with me, so here's a little something for you. On the flip side, if you've annoyed them, they'll make sure you know it. They'll even rally their friends to join in on the fun. It's like a bird mafia, and they've got your face in their memory bank. Honestly, that kind of loyalty and memory is something special. They're not just mindlessly reacting to the world around them, they're forming connections, building trust, and standing up for themselves when needed. It's hard not to respect a creature that can pick you out of a crowd and decide, hey, you're all right in my book, or stay out of my territory. So maybe next time you see a crow, give a little wave. You never know when you might make a feathered friend or get yourself on their bad side. Now, if you thought tool use and face recognition were impressive, hold on to your hat. Crows are absolute masters at problem solving. We're talking multi-step puzzles that would give some of us a headache. These birds don't just wing it, they think things through, figure out solutions, and tackle each problem like a real-life escape room. It's like having a little Sherlock Holmes in a feathered suit. And no, they're not just guessing until they get it right. Crows will analyze a problem, pick out tools or objects they need, and even remember past solutions if they run into the same challenge again. So while some folks are out here trying to remember where they put their phone 5 minutes ago, crows are solving complicated puzzles like it's no big deal. Let me tell you, these birds could probably teach us all a thing or two about persistence and creativity. They've been observed in the wild figuring out how to unlock cages to get to food, and in lab studies, they've shown they can solve puzzles with multiple steps. They'll pick up one tool to get another tool just to get the treat at the end. That's 3 steps. Yup, I said 3. And they're doing this all on instinct and wit. It's as if they're saying, challenge accepted. You gotta respect that level of determination. Watching a crow work through a problem is something else. They're not just clever, they're resilient. They're not giving up just because the answer isn't right in front of them. They'll test, adapt, and try again. There's a lesson in there, don't you think? Sometimes it's not about how much you know. It's about being willing to figure it out along the way. So, next time you're feeling stuck, remember there's a crow out there solving a puzzle with nothing but grit and a whole lot of smarts. If they can tackle it, so can we. Alright, get this. Crows aren't just out here cawing randomly. These birds actually have a whole language going on. When crows call out, they're not just making noise. They're sending out real specific messages. They warn each other of danger, signal when food is around, and even call out to bring friends over. It's like they're running their own little social network right there in the treetops. And they're not just keeping it to themselves either. Crows pass down what they know to the younger generation. Imagine being a young crow getting tips on where to find food, who to avoid, and where the best nesting spots are. You'd practically come out of the egg with a roadmap for life. Meanwhile, here we are, barely getting the hang of things, without someone pointing us in the right direction. But it gets even better. Crows pass down warnings about specific humans, animals, or areas for years. If someone's been mean to a crow, the entire family and even neighboring crows know about it. It's like they're keeping a family diary, and trust me, they don't forget. They'll even teach their kids who's trustworthy and who to steer clear of. Talk about loyalty. Crows look out for their own and make sure each generation is a little wiser and more prepared. I have to say, there's something incredible about that level of connection. Crows aren't just surviving, they're thriving by working together and sharing what they know. It's a reminder of how powerful knowledge can be when it's passed on with care. They're looking out for each other and they're creating a legacy of survival, one generation to the next. So next time you hear a crow calling out, remember, they might just be passing along a little wisdom from the ages. Here's where crows really pull at the heartstrings. They're not just brainy, they're also incredibly loyal and empathetic. I'm talking about birds that show up for each other in times of need. When a crow is hurt or even passes away, others will gather around almost like a little memorial. It's a moment of quiet that you don't expect from a bunch of noisy birds, but there it is, crows mourning in their own way. Now, for those thinking, oh, it's just some squawking, these birds aren't just flapping around for no reason. They're showing loyalty to their own, standing by each other. And look, in a world where people sometimes struggle to remember a birthday, these crows are showing up in ways that frankly put us humans to shame. But it's not just about mourning. Crows look out for their family and friends on the daily. If one crow finds food, you better believe they'll call in their close buddies to share the feast. And when there's danger, they'll stick around to make sure everyone's warned. They have each other's backs, and they'll even rally together to chase off bigger threats. It's like they're saying, you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. That's loyalty you don't see every day. There's something beautiful about that kind of bond, isn't there? It's a level of loyalty that reminds us of the importance of being there for the ones we care about. So next time you see a crow, remember there's a lot more heart in that little bird than meets the eye. Empathy, loyalty, and a touch of mystery. They're truly remarkable creatures. So there you have it. Crows. The unsung geniuses with a surprising social side and loyalty that runs deep. They're not just black-feathered troublemakers. They're sharp, empathetic, and loyal creatures with personalities that might even rival our own. It's about time we give them the credit they deserve and appreciate just how remarkable they are. If this changed the way you see these birds, don't forget to give this video a like. Share it with someone who needs a little crow appreciation, and of course subscribe for more eye-opening takes on the wild world around us. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, keep an eye out for those clever crows.